So a year ago, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was released on Disney+, and for years I had said that Obi-Wan Kenobi would not need a spin-off because it wouldn't really work. I think it's more superfluous and harder to make than Solo, and depending on how you watch the series, I was either right or wrong. On one hand, the show enhances not only the prequels, but aspects of the originals, and gives Obi-Wan a fantastic arc. On the other hand, the show brings some inconsistencies to A New Hope, and was clearly a theatrical movie stretched into a miniseries. And it also feels extremely rushed. Deborah Chow is a fantastic director, but you wouldn't be able to tell it by the series, so let's discuss it. The best thing about this series overall is Obi-Wan himself. His arc of him overcoming depression is amazing. Now this is a criticism I see levied upon Lucasfilm nowadays, and I find it to be a stupid criticism. Seeing our heroes in the low point makes it all the more bittersweet when they triumph and return to form. And this is one enhancement to the prequels. Obi-Wan has an arc, something he didn't have in the prequels. In this show, the best parts are when Obi-Wan is talking to another character about how he's feeling, and Obi-Wan getting closure with Anakin is beautiful. One of the best scenes in all of Star Wars.
I'm sorry.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
And where Obi-Wan says,
"Then my friend is truly dead." Goodbye, Darth.
it enhances Obi-Wan's lie to Luke in the originals, as he doesn't see this man as Anakin anymore. The color direction in the scene is genius. Obi-Wan's blue lightsaber illuminates Vader's face when Anakin is talking to Obi-Wan, reassuring him that his fall isn't his fault.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
And when Vader's red lightsaber illuminates his face, that's when the light leaves Anakin and he slithers back into his Vader persona.
The same way, I will destroy you.
It's very subtle and simple direction, but it goes a long way. And the other best part of the series is Hayden Christensen as Vader. He brings a different energy to Vader that other Vader body actors couldn't. And this is why it feels like Hayden's best acting performance in years. It's just another guy in a suit, but the way he moves around complements James Earl Jones' voice acting beautifully.
Your pain has just begun.
And the rest of the supporting cast does a good job as well. Moses Ingram brings a certain charisma to the character of Reva in a way that I don't think any other actors can.
I like that, Anna. It's important. You think you could protect him from me?
Vivian Lara Blair as Princess Leia is doing really well for a child actress. She brings the essence of Carrie Fisher as a child. She looks like she could grow up to be Carrie Fisher.
Since I met you, I've been chased, shot at, I almost fell to my death. If somebody is offering us help, I think we should take it. Now come on. What now?
Nothing, you just remind me of someone. She was fearless too, and stubborn.
I'm not stubborn.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
And the other supporting casts like Indurna Varham and O'Shea Jackson Jr. are all bringing their all but aren't really memorable. Now some things that aren't really good. The narrative that the story uses to bring this character is, I don't want to say contrived or convenient, because in all of storytelling there is going to be conveniences, as that's how it is in real life, but it's kind of pushing it in this show. But I don't really care about conveniences if it serves a thematic or character purpose. Take for example this scene in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Here, these Roxxon troops are about to open fire on Spider-Man and the gang, but out of nowhere, the Prowler comes in and subdues the troops, saving everyone. Now on one hand, you could call this a contrivance of him escaping the subway and arriving just in time, But on the other hand, this serves as a redemption moment for Aaron. At the end of the day, I always disregard plot holes and contrivances if it serves for something better. And there are some messy aspects to the writing. For example, all of episode 4 could have been cut. If you remove the setup to Leia being captured and delete episode 4 entirely, it does not change anything. As much as I praise the character of Reva and Moses Ingram's acting, she is not written very well. There are parts I like, such as her redemption in deciding not to become like Vader, and her moving up the ranks for the chance to kill Vader for justice, but it isn't something we haven't seen before. This is basically the dark side redemption we've seen many times over, and her dynamic with the Inquisitors makes no sense. They disrespect her because she was found in the street disregarded. But aren't most Inquisitors like that? Fallen Jedi who have nothing else left, and that's why they joined the Inquisitorius? And the worst part of the show is the production. This obviously feels like a movie stretched out into a show, and it doesn't work. Certain episodes feel stretched out. Episode 4 feels like an afterthought to meet the 6 episode quota. And the way this show mishandles the volume stagecraft technology is disgusting. I feel like as a society we can all agree that the volume should never be used for chase scenes, because it's gonna be slow and result in actors running around in a circle. And it also brings blatant logical inconsistencies, like this scene with Lasergate. Obi-Wan can just walk around the other side, but he doesn't. Why? Because there is no other side.
So I'm gonna guess that the reason that he didn't go around the laser fence was because there is no around the laser fence. And they also couldn't go over it because there is no over it. It's a curved LED screen. And I'm gonna posit that these are the edges of that screen. And once you can recognize it, you start seeing it everywhere.
And these mistakes also impact the narrative to an extent, like the ending of episode 3, where Vader lets Obi-Wan go. He can't even walk around the fire because in the volume there is no around the fire, it's too small. I can fix this with one simple workaround. When the fire reignites, have it heavily damage Vader and have him go back to his fortress to heal. Don't get me wrong, the volume is a revolutionary piece of technology, but that's only if you use it properly, and or decide to forego the volume and shoot on location and on sets, and it looks way better. But even with these errors, Deborah Chow brings some good direction moments, like the aforementioned conversation between Obi-Wan and Vader. Also, how she directs some action scenes really well. She somehow made shaky cam work with the lightsaber fight. It's impressive to make shaky cam work in a normal fight scene, let alone a lightsaber fight, and that's some props I have to give her. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi. At the end of the day, it has some ugly production issues and narrative flaws. However, it does have really good character moments that saves it from being bad. So at the end of the day, I want to give this a 6 out of 10, but I kind of liked it a lot, and I want to give it a 7, so yeah, 7 out of 10. It's a good show.
Hello there.